Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. That is beyond long.
Look at this. He's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to the Smash Factor, Week 8 of the 2022-2023 PGA Tour season. We are almost to the home stretch, final tournament next week of the fall swing. What may or may not be the last fall swing ever. Hadn't fully understood what they plan on doing next fall. All they've kind of said is that the season would now end in August. So I don't know if there's no golf at all, like September, October, November, which would be awesome. It is a grind, especially during football season, to knock these out. Some of the fields are questionable. A lot of these tournaments don't have shot tracker, stuff like that. It's just tough, but we've been doing all right. Betting's been good. DFS was really good last week. Could have been really, really good. Kept second guessing myself on the 2v2. One with Scheffler, one with Finau, back and forth all week. I just did a bullet last week in the 200. Was winning it most of Friday. Finished, I think I was at third going into the weekend, but I went with Finau. Neither one of the 2v2s would have got a 6-6, so I wasn't too mad. But Finau one was interesting because I went Finau and I think it was Finau and Burmeister versus Scheffler and maybe Ryan Palmer. And I think Palmer missed it, but obviously Scheffler finished strong on the weekend. I didn't go look to see which one would actually done better, but I cashed. I 2X'd. I was happy about it, but I was leaving here Friday. I was kind of keeping up with it because Finau started with a triple on Thursday, or like his fourth hole, he was +3 all of a sudden. And then I think he birdied, then I think he bogeyed again. So he's still +3. But then he shot 6 under total. He finished 3 under Thursday. Back and forth a little bit Friday. The app had him at -3 with 3 to go. He eagles 17. I think it was 17. 16 or 17, whichever the par 5 was. So that moves him to -5, and I think, oh, this is great because we didn't know if the cut was going to be 3 or 4 at the time. Looked like it was going to be 4. I was like, all right, if he can just par out, we're good to go. Even if he bogeys 1, he's still at 4. He pars out, says -5. I go run a couple of errands, and I knew I had a couple guys in the PM, and so I go back to look to see how they were doing, to see if they were, I needed them to finish strong to get the 6-6, and it moved him to -3. I was like, what the heck happened? And I guess obviously there was no shot tracker there. Don't know who was putting the scores and all that, but that was kind of a little disheartening. So he misses it on the number. The dock of the week was Piercy. He certainly paid off for us. He was in my lineup. Burmeister did okay. I had Harmon. I talked about him. He wound up making my core plays last week. So good week. Doubled up. Had some okay flirting with I think Mav was in that lineup too. McNeely did well. Was never going to do super great. 6-6 wasn't too high. I think it was like around 8, 9, 10%. But I knew I needed a miracle to even get way up there. But I'll take a 2X week, move on. Betting went 2-2, a small profit with the plus money bet on Thursday. Pretty good betting run. So if you only listen to me for golf, I'm doing pretty well elsewhere. Last 2 weeks between NFL, college football, and PGA, I'm 23-8-2, hitting at almost 73%. This season, so NFL, college football, and the fall swing, 81, 58, and 10, 58% between those three for the whole season. So hot streak right now, really profitable fall so far between football and this PGA. Hopefully we can squeeze out one more first-round leader or outright this week or next week. 2 would be nice, but I'll take one more, have a good start, and then we take a little break from golf, and we are still working, overhauling, should be debuting the new golf tools right when we start the season in January. I will do some kind of preview show mid-December, somewhere around in there, try to find the right week. And I'll keep doing football, so I'll still have pods out and stuff like that if you want to check those out. Right now, Smash, 20% off any package, includes a 7-day risk-free trial. That percentage stays with you for life if you upgrade, whatever you want to do. So you can start out small if you just want to do a weekly or monthly, and you upgrade later, you still get the 20% off. Rate and review us on iTunes right now. I'll be doing some big giveaways during Black Friday week, Thanksgiving week. So just anytime you review me on iTunes, that pops up there, and I save all those, and those will get you into the drawing. You can also get into the drawing by leaving a comment in this video and any video that I do. Subscribe to us on YouTube. All those get you into the drawings. The more you do, the more you're in. The more we get, the more I give away. This week in the comment section, tell me who you want to play in the 9K range. There's 5 guys in the 10K range, but I think, well, I know the lowest played will probably be Henley. The other 4 can make arguments for or against all of them. 9K range pretty, I mean, I think there's some good decisions to be made there. 8K range typically is dead, and it looks like it may be that way again this week. A lot lighter on the ownership side. So tell me your favorite play in the 9K range. Come check us out. Smash, 20% off overall. We got college football every night right now, practically, with Action back again. Tonight we got a 3-game slate with some pretty good pots. I think they're juiced up a little bit because of no NBA today. NBA is rocking and rolling. NFL, of course. PGA for this week and next week. I doubt I'll do the hero or anything around it. I can't remember if DraftKings, I think they do something small for it, but either way, lots going on right now. Come give us a look. This week we're at Memorial Park in Houston. This is the 3rd year at this course. If you look at my rankings, I have the last 6 years listed, but the 2 of this course are noted, so you know that. It is a par 70. I have seen some say par 72 out there. It is a par 70 for the pros. It does play, I believe, as a 72 for the public. 7,450-ish yards, 3 par 5s, 5 par 3s. Tom Doak design. I'm going on Travis Fulton's show during my lunchtime. This is early Tuesday morning. Hopefully have this out around lunch or a little after. I'm doing this, knocking it out. Then I got to go out in my territory for a while. Going to swing back by here at lunch, do the show with Travis, and then back out for a while. So I may be out a little later this afternoon than I wanted it to be, but it will be out for sure. But tough course. It's played that way the last 2 years. I think it's going to play fairly tough this week. A good cold front coming through. Here it comes through, I think, Thursday ish into Friday. Obviously, Houston's a lot farther south than me, but the same cold front's going to hit them on the weekend. So you're going to see temperatures. I think today it's supposed to get up to 85. By Saturday, I think the high is going to be 50. Sunday morning could be in the 40s, which is very cold, which, you know, obviously the ball won't travel as far. And this is a big boy course. I don't think driving distance is everything. I think being in play off the tee definitely matters. I have seen the course. I've been down there when I worked in San Antonio. My corporate office was in Houston. And I've been over there. So actually last time I went there, they were almost done with this remodel. It was right before they opened up for this tournament for the first time. So tough off the tee. It doesn't look that way, but I think being in the right place and getting the distance does matter. You know, you want to make sure you have the right angle into the greens. Very, very tough in general tee to green. And so I think a complete game, I definitely think around the green matters this week, more so than normal. Putting matters, but we'll debate that to an extent here in a little bit. It matters overall, but I think it depends on where you're at. Because we've seen guys like Matsu and List do well here, and they don't, have the best putting histories, especially List. So I think you can get hot, and these are pure, fast Bermuda greens. They're going to roll really good. So I don't think it rules out bad putting, but I do think putting will matter. But it always does, right? Bigger Bermuda greens, so lag putting I think is important, especially 7 par. I mean, par is a good score this week on majority of the holes. Again, we saw I think last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, like -3 is top 20 type stuff. So that's just barely. You're not even shooting under par every day, right? In your top 20. So grind it out mentality. bogey avoidance, stuff like that. Avoid the big numbers. If you get a bogey, okay. There's not a ton of birdies out here, which for our world, DraftKings world, puts emphasis on finishing positions as well, right? We've been playing some of these tournaments where guys can outscore their finishing position, tons of birdies, that other, which can happen here. I don't think is as significant. I think it's going to be you need guys that finish up there because those finishing points are going to be more valuable this week. I mentioned with the weather, cold front moving in, some wind, nothing crazy right now. I say that just because it looks normal for me down here in the South. We'll see how that wind looks. It could come into play depending on when that front gets there. If it gets there early on Friday, earlier than what originally thought, you could have a wave advantage because you probably, let's say it's going to come in around midday Friday. Like, I don't want to be done when that cold front pushes through. So we'll keep an eye on that as we get to tomorrow night. Cut, I have around +2, +3, probably +3, closer to +4, but we'll see. Probably when that cold front comes, it'll matter. But I think +2, +3 is pretty safe. I got the winner at -9. I think it's going to play tough on the weekend with that colder weather, ball not flying as much. I think it's going to be very tough to get the double digits this week. Mentioned this is the third year here. Previous winners are no longer here. They are both at Live, Kokrak and Ortiz. Ortiz shot 13 under, Kokrak 10 under. Scheffler, Tway, DJ, and Matsu all finished runner-up. Tway kind of sticks out like a sore thumb there, right? Some big boys there. Key stats this week for me: good drives, stroke gain irons, which is our blend of approach and around the green, bogey avoidance, opportunities inside 18 feet, good approach, par 3 DK scoring with the 5 par 3s. I want to take a look at that. Salary ranges: 5 in the 10K, 8 in the 9K. Oh, I will mention there's 35 guys, I believe, 35, yes, that have not played here at all. I think that's about right. So a pretty good amount. There's only 100, I think it's 120 golfers, 26 golfers maybe. Remember daylight saving times kicked in last week here. And so, I was out with my boys Sunday night. We played 9 holes. Beautiful day. It was 80, just perfect. Post some pictures on Twitter of it. But, by 6, it's dark. It's getting dark earlier than that. So, they're definitely, it's a shorter field, not a full field. Anyways, 5 in the 10K, 8 in the 9K, 10 in the 8K, 35 in the 7K, 69 in the 6K. Sweet 16, normal format this week. 3 I like and a bubble boy. Then fade of the week, sleeper of the week, gut feel plays are betting top 5 the pop and 2 long shots provided by Prize Picks. And we will get out of here. I like Matsu. So he played here 2 years ago, finished second. 10-3, only cheaper than him is Henley coming off the win last week, who actually has done well in Texas, in Houston, and at this course. Be interesting to see how things come in on Henley coming off the win. Do people get off him, especially the price, or do we keep rolling with him, especially with this performance here? He's 7th last year. He's won this tournament at a different course, had 3 other top 10, so if he'd have finished 4th last week, I don't know that he's 10K, but he's probably popular. But I like Matsu, $300 more. He played a little bit, right, in the fall swing, so I like that. Didn't do much with it. 40th at the Zozo, 34th at the CJ Cup. But at least he's not coming in with like a month of rust. And again, second here 2 years ago. I think quick greens help him. And just in general, think the Masters. These aren't Ben or anything like that, but pure rolling greens, I think could help Matsu. If he can keep it in play off the tee, we know. Tee to green is just always pretty solid. I just like him this week at 10-3. He's one of the guys I'm going to go to. I'm going to go back to Finau at 10-4. 24th here 2 years ago. He missed the cut on the number last year here. I believe I had him. I want to say he finished like bogey or something to miss it. Rates out number 1 for statistically for me. Talked about the rust last week, and that was my worry. I probably should have followed up with that stronger. So I like it. And, he missed it barely, and that's with a triple to start your week off. So I think he's right there. Has played well here. I don't know if he'll play next week or not. So this may be, his final one until January. So 10-4, again, pretty good price savings from Scheffler, similar to last week. I'll go back to the bounce back week for Finau. McNeely, I'm going to go there. Go right back there, 9-4. He's been playing great, and he's played good here. 2 top 20s, a 20th and a 19th. And then 3 years ago at the old course in Houston, he got 17th. So I like that. He's coming in with a 12th and 18th and a 10th. Some of his stats are just up, not just popping on the page, but he's just playing so well. I mean, this is just one. We know he can putt. He's coming in with good form. He's played this course great. I'm not going to overthink it. 9,400, I'll go with Mav. And my bubble boy, Scheffler. You guys know how I am typically on highest price, highest own. With the way he finished, and we always talk about the importance of making the cut. This is another example. He was okay when he made the cut, but he really, I think he shot like 8 under or something Sunday to zoom up the board to a third. And that's why it's so important on the 6 of 6s, even if your guy just barely makes it. So if he now makes it on the number last weekend, who knows what he does for me on the weekend. And I'm probably live to win the whole tournament, but you don't get it and you're dead, right? It still made money, but the upside of winning is pretty much gone. Scheffler finishes strong. He's played here great. Got a second last year, a 32nd 2 years ago. Everything screams to play him. I just wonder how owned is he going to be. So if he's, I very rarely get up to the highest owned, highest priced guy in golf, and so he's a bubble boy because I like him. Everything screams playing him. We'll just have to see how owned he gets. And with Finau, maybe people just go, Finau missed last week, missed last year here. They want to pay up too. If I can get a low-owned Finau to get overweight on, then maybe get even on the field on Scheffler. Maybe that's something I do. Definitely will update that as we get through the premium articles through tomorrow night. 8K range, again, I don't think, just the way DraftKings pricing, I think you're going to have more of your lower-priced guys in this. I like Davis Riley. Played okay last week. Almost top 20, got 21st. Played here last year, got 29th. Priced up some. I believe he was in the 7s last week. So I think he's right around Burmeister, actually, because I think I was looking at both of them. But I just like the kid in general, especially at this price. Maybe some stay away from him. He's been playing decent in the fall, nothing tremendous. Last week was one of his better weeks, so ride the momentum this week. Played here last year, did well. 8,400. If I can get a top 20 out of him, that gives me life. We know he struggles to close, but I'll go back to him. Taylor Moore, go back to him. Played him. He played 2 weeks ago, so he's had a good run. 12th and a 23rd his last 2 tournaments. He did miss a cut here. I believe he barely missed it, if I remember right. Stat-wise, he ranks out top 21 or better in 5 of my 6 categories. He's 5th in par 3, DK scoring, 13th in bogey avoidance, 20th in opportunities inside 18 feet, and 19th in good drives. I like all of that. Mid-pack on putting. So if we get a little bit of a good putter, $8,000, been playing quite a bit in the fall. We don't have to worry about rust there. I like some Taylor Moore at that price. Pendrith, probably the only negative, I almost made him the bubble boy, but probably the only negative for me is that he just hadn't played. So I worry about the rust with him. Now, the difference between him and like a Finau last week, at 8,500, he could shake off some rust, top 30, flirt with that top 20. And he does well for me. He did miss a cut last year here. I want to say it's maybe when he started coming back. I can't remember. But 18th in stats, 5th in recent form. He's mid-pack and putting. I don't know how many of the AK guys I get to. Riley and Moore are my favorite, but Pinterest one that I think could profile to play well here. And so the rust thing would keep me off of him a little bit, but, I think his talent's there and it could do well. And then my bubble boy was Munoz. He has been playing, but just hadn't done much. Made the cut last week, finished 56th, a 36 at Zozo, a 40th at CJ Cup. Missed the cut here last year. It really was, I don't really like much else in the 8, and he was the closest one. Putting's okay for him. I think his upside is what would catch me. So I have him as a bubble boy because I needed somebody. But when he gets on and gets going, he can score with people and be there and make a good run. Cut maker, and so gives you some life if you want to go down that way. I probably would just drop to the 7s, but I always give, the 3 and a bubble boy. He was the one I liked the most out of the rest of the guys left in the 8. So if that tells you about what I think about the other AK guys, he's the only one I would consider. Maybe Keith Mitchell. He just hasn't been playing tremendously lately. But those two were the two I was going back and forth with for the Bubble Boys, Mitchell and Munoz. So if you like either one of those, that's the way I would go. 7K range, Smalley. I love Smalley this week. He'll be on my betting card. You can book that for your free bet of the week. He's a grinder. I talk about it all the time with him. I think this sets up great for him. Good on Bermuda. Love him in the betting market. Like I said, 80 to 100 to 1, depending on where you look. 11th 2 weeks ago. 52nd at CJ, which was okay. Nothing, obviously that's a no cut. 25th at Zozo, though. 15th here last year. Like everything about Smalley this week, definitely will be playing him. Steven Yeager, I like him this week. Burned me a little bit at Bermuda, missing the cut. I liked him that week, but 35th here last year. Did not play 2 years ago. Stat-wise, he ranks out third for me. He's 7th in stroke and irons, 1st in opportunities inside 18 feet, 13th in good approach, 2nd in par 3 DK scoring. All great, looks great on paper. 24th in putting. I like some Yeager this week, $7,100. Lee Hodges, I'll go back to him. 38th last week. Had him in my bullet. 7th at CJ Cup. Zozo, he finished 23rd. Last year, he finished 46th at the Memorial. 11th in irons. 9th in bogey avoidance. I really like that. 13th in opportunities inside 18 feet. 7th in par 3 DK scoring. Mid-pack on putting. He's just playing good. Nothing great, but at 7,600, we definitely got upside, right? Top 20 for sure, upside. So I like that at that price. My Bubble Boy is Patrick Rogers. I think he may have been my Bubble Boy last week. I don't see this course fitting him really, but necessarily, like it didn't pop off the page to me, but he's playing really, really good golf right now. Getting it done a little bit different ways. 16th at Zozo, 3rd at Bermuda, 27th last week. He did play here 2 years ago and missed the cut. But I just think he's playing good golf. So he's Bubble Boy because I don't know that I would profile him here. But with the form and how he's been playing, he's someone I definitely will take a look at. And if I do MME this week, he certainly would probably make the pool. 6K range, Ben Griffin, went back to him last week. Made the cut, just didn't do nothing on the weekend. I think he started really well on Thursday. Kind of got across the line, did nothing on the weekend. Finished 59th. I do like that, at least off of that devastating, losing the lead at Bermuda. He comes back the very next week, makes the cut, grinds out the weekend. Even though he didn't do much with it, I like that he made the cut. It puts him, I think, back in play this week. That's by him. He can kind of focus. 3rd in irons, 17th in bogey avoidance, 28th in good approach. Probably top 3rd in the field in the putting stats. So $6,800. I definitely like him. Callan Tarrant, he's just a guy I've been on. I got talked about him almost every fall event that he's played in. I thought he'd get a win in the fall, but I thought he'd get some contention. He's a player pool guy for MME. For me, he's nothing. I don't think he makes like a core. But at $6,500, I just like his upside. He is coming off back-to-back missed cuts. So I can see why most people could avoid him. But if you're looking for some cheap guys, getting that player pool, I like him at $6,500. Charlie Hoffman, rated out really well for me last week. Would have made the pool if I did MME. Did okay. Was up there. Didn't do much on the weekend. Finished 42nd. 29th 2 weeks ago. 29th here 2 years ago. He's been popping slowly back. He had the injury stuff last year, coming back from all that. 4th in good drives, 21st in opportunities inside 18 feet, 16th in good approach. $6,800. I just think he's a guy that I could take a look at this week. Bubble Boy with Smotherman. If we can ever get him put 4 rounds together, you know what he can do. Hasn't played here. He did go to SMU. That doesn't necessarily mean he's ever been to Houston. Texas is a big state. But stats are okay. He's just one of those pedigree guys. That's why he's the Bubble Boy for me. He's a guy that I think can be in contention at some point. He's been there. I think he was 2 weeks ago to Bermuda, was close to first round leader. Hung around, he got 23rd. He missed the cut last week, but he's a guy that I think you could look at, especially if you are going down the sixes. I'm not going to be in the sixes too much this week, but he's one that caught my eye at $6,700. Fade of the week for me is Dahman. I like Joel. And what's crazy is I think he could get ownership at $9K. He's been playing good. I would think this course would be difficult for him with the length, but he got 5th here last year. So I think with the 3rd last week, 16th at Zozo, 5th here last year, he could garnish some ownership. And so 9K, I'll just pass on it. Stat wise, he rates 84th in the field for me, 85th in recent form. Okay on approach, looks okay. But like his good drive is 109th in the field, bogey avoidance 116th in the field. So I pass for me at 9K. If he can go top 10 again this week, like he did here last year, more power to him. I'll eat that egg on my face all day long. But I'll pass there. Sleeper of the week, I'm gonna go Robert Streb, $6,500, 42nd last week, 29th 2 weeks ago, a 7th here last year. Stat wise, is okay. 34th in the field for me. Nothing like way up there, but 28th in good drive, 43rd in bogey avoidance, 34th in irons, 42nd in good approach, 54th in putting. So that's way better than half the field. $6,500, 7th here last year. I don't mind, and not too much different than like a Joel if someone's looking at that, but I'm talking about 9,000 compared to 6,500. So I'll take some flyer shots on that with that profile. Gut feel plays for me this week. I'm gonna go back to Burmeister, $7,600. Not really a price increase. I think he went down $100 actually. 32nd last week. I just like the way he's been playing. He's 5th in the field in putting, 16th in recent form. I don't mind going back to him. Wyndham Clark. I think this course could set up well for him. A 41st here last year, 29th at CJ Cup, 16th at Zozo, 33rd in putting, 3rd in good approach in the field, 14th in opportunities at 18 feet, 24th in good drives. Definitely a guy I got my eye on. Cam Champ, definitely a gut feel play. He's a boom bust guy. Talk about it all the time. 23rd at this tournament 3 years ago. It was a little bit different course. 8th at Zozo. He did miss a cut last week. He's a boom bust guy, right? So he could miss a cut. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Not even be remotely close. Or he could be in contention Sunday morning. That wouldn't shock me either. So $7,200. He's a guy I don't mind looking at. And then Brandon Wu, I've been playing all fall. Like him a lot. 32nd last week, 35th 2 weeks ago, and then 29th at Zozo. 17th 3 years ago at the different course at this tournament. So I don't mind that. 17th in the field and putting. Stats are just okay. Nothing great, but pedigree guy. I'll go back to him. $7,300. I don't mind him at all for the last gut feel play. Betting top 5, the pop and 2 long shots. Check out Prize Picks. Link is in the description. Dollar for dollar match up to $100. Use the code GUP. Underdog is also in that link. Same code, same dollar for dollar match up to $100. I'm expecting to hear a potential best ball stuff for PGA here in the next few weeks, which will be awesome on Underdog. They did a little test run for the FedEx Cup. If you remember, they did a 3-week best ball deal. I'm hoping we get a big season-long best ball deal out of them for PGA, maybe starting like the Sony or something. And they may wait till like March. I don't know. I don't know what season they want to kind of frame to keep people interested in it. I think part of the thing with them, a little bit different than NFL or anything like that, but that'd be the reason for the good best ball, bigger team is, these guys don't play every week. So it's a little bit different, situation. But I think the FedEx Cup went well. A little bit different strategy there as there's a cut each week. But check out either one of those. Link is in the description. My top 5 I like right now, I like Riley, 45-1. Smalley, I see him as high as 70. Lee Hodges, 80. Taylor Moore, 66. And if I was going to pay up the board, I have a Matsu at 22. That'd probably be where I'd go there. I like that. If I could get a Finau at 20, I may look at that. But I probably won't go any lower than that right now on the odds board. 2 long shots I like. Steven Yeager, 125-1. And then back to Ben Griffin, 150-1. You could top 20 those or something like that if you'd like to. Don't forget, use code SMASH, 20% off. Come join us. Free 7 days to check everything out. Got football every day right now. 2 more golf tournaments. NBA rolling around. NFL, of course. Tons of NFL left. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We'll have big slates that week. Good time to check us out right now. Get a lot of action, especially with all the college football going on almost nightly as well. Hope you guys have a good Tuesday. I'll get this out as soon as I can later on this afternoon. Appreciate you. Have a good day. Go vote.